Final race of the Amp Energy Racing Series 2011-2012 season would be held at Saskatchewan for the Saskatchewan 400, and Alex Yates put his number 1 machine on the pole for the second time of the season, and he would lead the field down to the green. Kimo Tolofa to his outside, the inside groove, getting a great jump on the start. Jen Smith following Yates, and Christopher Kennedy also following inside line, going much faster than the outside line here on the first start of the race. And Jen Smith trying to look underneath the one already, but we got Christopher Kennedy and Tyson Lautenschlager also battling for the third spot, so great racing at the front already here on lap number 1. Yates leads that first lap. However, Jen Smith is going to look quickly to the inside and take the lead right away from Yates. Fred Richer is your 2011-2012 champion, his 9th title, and he has announced he would retire after this race. He clinched a title last race at Myrtle Beach, and looking to close out his career with a good finish here at Saskatchewan, running in the back. Rookie of the Year Championship update. Mike Oppenheimer needs to finish ahead of Leggy and pretty much win the race if he wants to take the Rookie of the Year. Will Leggy running much better than him thus far in this one, as the 15's up in the front of the pack, the 99 not so much. Luis Tellez is your current leader. He just passed Jen Smith in the 06. However, he's got a good challenge from Christopher Kennedy in that number 76, and it looks like Kennedy's going to make a move to the inside in that number 76. He's been pretty quiet this year, and looking to close out the season with a bang, as that number 76 is very strong early in the going here at Saskatchewan. Our first caution flies on lap number 8. Jared Cash in the 50 is going to be a bit slow. Cody Lochner is going to run him over and take out Alan Reeds in the process. Not much damage to each of these cars. Cash would get the worst of this one. On board Alan Reeds real quick. The 50 gets spun. He has nowhere to go but into the outside wall. Tough break for the 19. This is pretty much going to end any hopes he has of winning here at Saskatchewan. The leaders came into the pits. Aaron Fisher took the lead right before the yellow flew, and the 90 would lead the field into the pits. However, Luis Tellez would take the lead right back coming out of the pits, and he would lead the field down to the green. Keith Davis has snuck his way into third. And, well, a common theme for this track, tire issues bring the 12 and the 90 into the pits, leaving Keith Davis and Christopher Kennedy out to battle for the lead, and these two would battle side by side for several laps. 76 taking the lead right there. However, the 53 of Keith Davis is going to get it right back just 5 laps later, and the 53 looking strong in his final race this season as he's trying to get some sponsorship next year for the number 53. Tim Averill won at McKinley. Yes, he is a one-off back in the field for this race here at Saskatchewan. He is making his way up through the field already. He is currently in 7th. Matt Conti in his Save-A-Cone car. I don't know what Save-A-Cone really is, but running it really well this weekend and running well with it as well. Christopher Kennedy and Patrick Eicholtz now battle for the lead at the front. Some great racing at the front of the pack as Tyson Lautenschlager is going to follow right on through into the 2nd position. Matt Conti up to 5th, and we see Keith Davis now taking the lead away from Kennedy. More on Conti as he's worked his way up to 2nd and is catching the 53. However, he's got a good charge from Christopher Kennedy right behind him, and that would lead up to our first round of green flag pit stops on lap number 33. And unfortunately, we'd have a caution that screwed up the entire field on lap 38. The 8 of Carson Crompton has nowhere to go as the 28 of Sean Donnelly runs him up the track, and they both go around, collect Conti, and a little bit of damage to the 85 will bring him into the pits as Alan Reeds makes a nice save. He gets turned, and not much damage to the 19, so he saved that one from being a lot worse. On the restart, it's Kimo Tolofa in the lead. However, Sean Donnelly is a tail end of the lead lap car, and this would not lead to great things as we see the 30 car make a weird move to the inside, creating our 3rd caution. And let's see what happens here. Looks like a tire issue was what he was coming into the pits for. They slide up the racetrack into everybody, and Jalen Scranton goes flipping. Kazora, when their Dawson who just got nailed, that was Ringer. Lipinski smacks into Ringer. Another view of this one. Ow! Bradshaw, Ringer, and Lipinski had a massive hit on the inside. Keith Davis collected up in this one. Scranton and Fred Richer, his final race, he is collected up in this one. He will not continue in that number 13. Let's go on board him real quick. looks like his final corner in the AERS. As you see, a few cars went down in pits to avoid this one. Oh, wow. 13, done. His career is over. He wins the championship. However, that was his last lap in the AERS, as a legend has retired from competition. The 97 leads the field to the green. 00 following in second. However, we'd have another caution on lap 51. Keith Davis, Justin Pisani, and Aaron Fisher are going to get caught up in a wreck. Davis goes around, so does Pisani. Fisher doesn't really get too much involved in this one. However, you have a lot of damage out of that number 90. 99 of Mike Oppenheimer, badly beat up, would restart as the leader. However, everyone would go right by him off the get-go. Tyson Schlager taking the lead. And this would lead us to lap 79, green flag stops. And on lap 84, we'd have our 5th caution of the race. Cody Lochner is going to get spun during green flag stops and save it. And no more damage to the 34 done, as after green flag pit stop cycled out, Will Legge would be the leader in the number 15. Just a mess of cars at the front. You can't really tell where anyone is. And of course, the 15 would come into the pits with the 72 for tire issues, something that we've seen way too much in this series at this track, and it's looking to cause a little bit of hampering in the race. As you see, Tyson Schlager is your new leader. Here is a car that's 30 miles an hour off the pace. It's Nick Dawson in the 22. And he would actually cause a little bit of catastrophe here. Is Schlager in the wall, Miller a chance to pass him. There's Dawson right in the way. And the 52 of Jason Miller held up a little bit there. Won't be able to pass him until now, when he takes the lead away from Tyson Schlager, the number 00, using Mike Oppenheimer as a pick. And following Matt Conti in the 85, another lap car. And that would lead us to our lap 116 green flag stops, leading up to our 6th caution on lap number 123. Grace Garcia is going to get spun along with Michael Carter, and Luis Telez is in there as well. And whoa, my God, don't nail her. Miller and Jacobs came in there at full speed. Miller was the current leader at the time, and that was almost much bigger than it should have been. As on the restart, we see Miller leading Schlager and Leckleiter on the outside. Miller pacing the field, and unfortunately would cut a right front tire, slow down, and lose 2 laps to the new leader, Tyson Schlager. Tough break for Jason Miller, finally having a good run. And Christopher Kennedy, your new leader, Tyson Schlager, and Will Legge battling hard right behind him. Nick Hierski is a one-off, and he's worked his way up to 2nd in that number 29 Miller Welders Dodge. Very impressive performance by Hierski. Now looking for the lead on Kennedy. Conti's going to be in the way a little bit there. However, he would eventually get around the 76, as we see here. 29 to the point. Nicholas Hierski. Very strong performance, unexpected performance. He finished 22nd in his only other AERS start, and that was at McKinley. And for this season at least, and he was pacing the field thus far. Lap 143, green flag stops, and this would leave Kennedy in the lead after everything cycled out. However, of course, we'd have another caution fly on lap number 163 for debris, and they would restart in the same exact order, of course. Hierski all over the 76. And the 29 looking very impressive, as we'd have another caution fly. This one was caution 8 on lap 169. Keith Davis and Matt Conti make contact, spin, collect Austin Kingston. Little damage to the 44, but the 53 and 85 got the worst of that one. Keith Davis having a miserable day after a great start. Fuel would be an issue, as Legge stayed out while a lot of the others pitted. He would take the white flag in a great strategy for the 15, conserving fuel, letting all these lap cars go by him. Will Legge, out of nowhere, is going to win the Saskatchewan 400, his 2nd career win, and this would secure the Rookie of the Year title for him. He beats out Tyson Lautenschlager by almost 4 seconds. Christopher Kennedy in third, Daniel Lechlater in fourth. Nicholas Hierski ends up finishing fifth. Carson Crompton sixth. Jacob Williams seventh. Kenny Gerald's eighth. Eric Weber ninth, and Aaron Fisher 10th, both 1 lap down. The rest of the field was at least 1 lap down. Fred Richer, final race, our champion, finishes 34th, his only DNF of the season. And just a very surprising strategy by Leggy that ended up paying off. A few guys ran out of fuel at the end there, but he survived. Here are the final point standings. As you see, a massive lead for Richer would clinch him the title last race at Myrtle Beach. Lautenschlager second. Will Leggy third in his rookie campaign, along with Mike Oppenheimer, who is also a rookie, fourth. Herb Cilantro ends up finishing fifth. Sean Donnelly sixth. Todd Bradshaw seventh. Jacob Williams all the way up to 8th. He was about like 13th before this race. He had a stellar showing in that number 94. Patrick Eicholt's 9th, and Alex Jates rounds out the top 10 of the point standings for the AERS 2011-2012 season.